Dowie, who's taken them from bottom of the First Division to off the bottom of the Premiership. And there's Andy Johnson, once rejected by Birmingham City, now the highest English scorer in the Premiership. Alan Kirbishley's Charlton haven't enjoyed great away form. Their only victory on the road coming in their last London derby at Spurs. At Palace for us, Steve Wilson.
It's 12 years ago to the day that Charlton Athletic played their first match back at the Valley. The majority of their years in exile having been spent here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace have changed manager an incredible 19 times since then. The Charlton team is still picked by Alan Kirbishley. Crystal Palace are unchanged for the third game running. Ben Watson passed a test on his thigh. They beat Charlton in this year's Carling Cup, but neither scorer then starts today. Charlton's Herman Hreidarsson also scored in that match. He returns to their side after a back injury. He is a former Crystal Palace player, of course. Just 3 places and 5 points separate these two South London rivals in the table. It's an uneven battle in the air between Routledge and Hreidarsson. Oh, Johnson got there first and was caught. Always looking for half a chance to unsettle defenders, Andy Johnson, and he unsettled John Fortune. Watson. Johnson. It's nicely improvised. Not sure Dean Kiely was ever in too much trouble. Wayne Routledge. Rihilati's got forward here for Crystal Palace. Boyce. Thomas. Good pace from Thomas. Good footwork too. This is Bartlett. Kishishev. Worth a go. And he wasn't shy about it either. Just opened up nicely here for Radostan Kishishev. It's Murphy. Thomas has got in behind Routledge here. Boyce was up the field. And Thomas has beaten Routledge. Oh, Matt Holland. Well, Wayne Routledge was filling in at right back here. And Jerome Thomas had the better of him. And Matt Holland. He really connected with his header. Kishishev hustled by Watson. This is Thomas. Murphy, now Popovic and Bartlett. Nothing doing, says Matt Mathias. Danny Murphy is talking himself into the notebook here. I think they're making the point that the flag was up on the far side from Paul Norman against Popovic for the challenge on Bartlett. Here it is. Flag is up, you can see it. Paul Norman, the man whose decision was overruled. Oh, Popovic. Paul. The referee's played the advantage, and it might just be a big advantage. It's Kolka. Watson arriving and Rihilati off the bar. Scored against Arsenal on this ground, Aki Rihilati. And came within a whisker here. Just might be time here for Charlton. Well, Thomas is caught. It's going to be a card for Watson. There's just a hint of danger there that Jerome Thomas was going to streak away for Charlton. I understand Kishishev was shown a yellow card as well for his foul, from which Matt Messias played advantage. It all led to Rihilati's header against the bar. And here's Thomas, got him behind Boyce, good save, Kirai. Best chance of the half comes right at the end of the half and falls to Jerome Thomas. Got the better of Boyce, and credit the goalkeeper. Stood up well, the Hungarian, Gabor Kirai, and reacted quickly to his near post. This is Hall. Rihilati won it really well, Andy Johnson. Fortune only to Popovic. He's been unlucky this season to have put the ball in his own net 2 or 3 occasions, Popovic. This is Watson. Andy Johnson. Good pace, good strength. Referee's going to give a penalty here. Andy Johnson caught by El Karkouri. The Moroccan protests, but Matt Messias has given the spot kick. It's the pace of Andy Johnson, and El Karkouri was nowhere near close enough to the ball to make a convincing case to change the referee's mind. Johnson, saved! Oh, good save by Dean Kiley. Johnson hardly gave himself any time or any run-up, and Kiley saves. It's still goalless. This is Watson. Kolka. Good try, and well stopped by Kiley. Well, Kolka's an out-and-out right footer who plays on the left side of midfield. You can always bank on him coming inside, but doesn't necessarily mean to say you can stop him delivering the shot. Fortune not away. Watson into Kishishev, no foul. Jerome Thomas, and suddenly the game has stretched and become end-to-end in stoppage time. And here's Danny Murphy. And Dennis Rommedahl. It's come inside Granville. Rommedahl, oh, and he scored! Dennis Rommedahl's first goal in English football. And it's enough to beat Crystal Palace into the 3rd minute of stoppage time at the end of the game. And the second half, which had only infrequently got above the pedestrian, ends with a bang. Great moment for Dennis Rommedahl, off the mark.
Dean, that could be a very, very big win for Charlton.
Yeah, I think it's games like that, and the way the 3 points came about right at the end can turn a season around. I think, you know, by our own standards, we've been inconsistent, very streaky, very hot and cold. So hopefully now this takes us into a period of games where we can, you know, fill our boots and get a few points on the board.
I just wonder if Dean Kiley's save from Andy Johnson was the turning point.
Well, I mean, there's no blame for Andy. Andy's a top-class player. He's been magnificent for us. It's a good save. I mean, I don't know what happens with the movement off the line, but it seems to have gone now.
The defender had only like the eyes on the ball and just couldn't get in front of him, and just went inside and closed my eyes and blasted, and luckily it went in, and after that was just a nice feeling, yeah.
Nice feeling. Terrible, terrible feeling for Ian Dowie. Is it anything worse as a manager? 0-0, if anything, you should be winning it, and then like that in the last minute. How do you deal with that?
It's difficult. It's difficult for the players as well, because they've worked ever so hard, and I would have to say, I was at the game. Palace, if there was going to be one winner, it looked like it was going to be Palace. Yeah. And, of course, Andy Johnson's missed the penalty. And I have to be honest, I've only seen it since, because I thought it's 0-0. Yeah. And I left, I was in the car on the way here. And I was surprised to see that they'd won, but having just seen it on TV, it's a good
Jim,
goal
in your
by
32
Rommedahl.
years of management, have you ever had your heart broken by a last-minute winner against you?
Many times, and it happens, and it's amazing. You know, when you're in the lower of the league, it happens more often to you than when you're in the top half of the league. I don't
There's a
know why
lesson
that
there.
is.
Managing the lower leagues, then you get your heart broken.
No.
There's an incident in the first half, Mick. Popovic brings down Bartley. What did you make of this one? Talk us through it.
Well, I was actually going mad in the stand at the time because he's made a great run off his shoulder here, Bartlett. And he started, and he quite clearly, I'm sat over there, we see the linesman or the assistant referee now, as he's called, he flags. He's fouling, there's no question he's fouling.
No doubt.
But
Now,
the linesman got his flag up. Now, this must drive you mad if you're a player. And, in fact, it did, drive Murphy mad, didn't it?
you see the referee's looking now at the linesman. He's never consulted him. Now, why his assistant should even bother flagging or being there if he's not going to consult him? Danny Murphy chased him. You can't legislate for it, but he's chased him. He's pulled the referee back and he's got booked for it. I think almost justifiably so, because it was a free kick. Yeah. The linesman's flagged. He's not looked
Would
at
you
his
fine
linesman.
Murphy for that? You're supposed to fine him for dissent every time, aren't you?
Yeah, sometimes. I think it's that would have drove me mad. I might have got a booking as well for that.
Yep.
You would have got a booking for it.
Can we have a look back at the penalty incident? Now, you had the defender here at Sunderland with you last year, didn't you?
I did.
Did he dive in like this then?
He did on a couple of occasions. He does slide in and tackle. It's a penalty.
And here's the penalty. A couple of angles of this. A great save, it's got to be said. Fair play to the keeper. But just look how far he is off the line when the ball is skipped. He's got to be on his line. Nice leap out. Look at that, he's a metre out. I mean, can't the linesman spot that? The linesman's just there, just beyond the 6 yard
I think it's a great save. I think it's difficult for him. Okay. You see all different ones.
Here's David James against Villa.
Yeah.
And indeed, that one ended up saved. This was scored, but again, this is Paul Robinson against Arsenal. He's 3 feet off the line. And then Shay Given against Man United. This was scored, or let's say he was 18 inches off the line there. Now, I don't understand why the linesman, it seemed to me pretty straightforward to judge when the ball's kicked and where the keeper is.
It's still a difficult one. I mean, I think the rules make it difficult for the officials. I think the goalkeeper should be allowed to move anywhere he wants and do.
What do you mean anywhere he wants? Well, at that moment, the minute the run-up starts, he can sprint out to the ball and hoof it up the other end. I mean, there's got to be a rule of some kind.
I wouldn't mind him running out and just pass it down the side of him.
Right.
Within reason. I agree with Jim. I think it's that linesman. What is it? The assistant.
Yeah, never mind. What linesman will do?
It drives me mad. He's a linesman. He's looking. Is he looking at the kicker?
Yeah.
Or is he looking at the goalkeeper? I tell you, you've got a better view of it the further you are. If you're up in the stand, you have a better view.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jim's saying.
But I said, but if they can't give that decision, they can't never give an offside either, because you need to be looking at two things at the same time.
We all get upset about those decisions as well. But let the keeper, within reason, he's not going to run out and hoof it. As he's running up, so let him.
What do you tell your keeper to do, though? You much coach.
I tell him to save it.
No, you tell him to save, but you tell him to take a little hop off the line about 3 feet out. What do you tell them they can get away with?
I don't tell them anything what they can get away with. I think keepers are
mad.
They wouldn't know. Well, they've got to be doing the job, I think. But they will take any advantage they can get. And if they save it and the referee makes him take it again, so be it.
And you've got Palace coincident. Good planning as a manager. You must have known you were going to get them in the cup. They're coming up to your place, aren't they?
I was stood in the tea room having a cup of tea when the draw came on, and I did get a little bit of banter.
OK, and Wayne Routledge, let's look at him. Best player on the day as far as you were concerned. What impressed you so much about him for Palace?
He impresses me as a player anyway. I mean, I think he's got terrific pace. Well, he has got terrific pace. We played him in the playoffs, of course, last year, and I thought he was excellent in all the games we played. He's got the ability to go past people. Here he can stretch the defence. And not only does he stretch the defence, then he keeps hold of the ball and does something with it. And there were one or two giving out to him, and yet it is, puts crosses in the box. All right, not the best one. You could argue that the runs aren't the greatest. But he's a winger and he supplies crosses. Here, he's back doing his defending job, protecting his full-back, which he did all afternoon. And I'll tell you what, do they use him to break out as well? If the keeper catches it and he's there on the edge of the box, they'll give it to him and he can get 30, 40, 50 yards up the pitch and drag his team up the park with him. I think he's terrific.
So 19-year-old is well looked after, keeps his head together, he's got half a chance.
Well, as I said, he does make mistakes, but he's 19. I think he's a terrific player.
Let's have a look at the FA Cup draw now, shall we? Here's the...